And welcome back to the Off the Clock Show. Joined again, Sean Gervais from OrbisX CRM and Marshall Hill from the Pints and Polishing Podcast, as well as, well, shouldn't do the drum roll where the camera is, Hyperclean Car Care Products. All right, guys, welcome back. It's been a minute. I was doing some traveling. I was in the Bahamas recently, and then when I got back, I caught a case of something, I don't know what, in the airport, which was brutal. Airport Canadian side, for sure. But airport side when we were leaving the islands was beautiful. But actually, we're talking about that briefly. One of the nicest airports I've ever seen. Small, quaint, gets the job done.
All right.
Going through Toronto was brutal, though.
Everybody hated masks during Corona,
All right, yeah.
except for a few people who are germaphobes. And then the other wannabe germaphobes like me. Not a true germaphobe. I just have always been cautious about the way I open doors or, touch things. I've always been that way.
Yeah.
Loved Corona for that.
Yeah, I loved the distancing. Everything.
To date, I will always say that was one of the healthiest years of my life.
Yeah, I agree too. It was the same for us. Didn't catch anything. It was amazing. Felt clean all the time. Like for me, like we quarantine our clothes. We did that before COVID. Anytime we travel, so we have our airport clothes, and we'll take those ones and we'll put them in like a bag or something like that, and then that stays separate. And then when we get back, that one is what goes into. No, that's okay. Yeah, sorry, noises in the office. But that's where that one goes in. Basically, it's full decycle or whatever of cleaning. But I've
like if you get bed bugs, you sort of do it that way.
A similar, yeah. I've lived some shitty
just to make sure that everything.
Yeah, exactly. To make sure everything's
bed bugs are crazy. One day I took my girls to when they came into town once. We went to a Thunder game and we stayed down at one of the real nice hotels right down from Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And we were watching a movie and it was all dark and I just moved my pillow over and there was a fucking bed bug.
Oh shit, no. Oof.
I mean, this was a top hotel, literally.
Damn.
Just
that's the thing. It can happen anywhere
from the stadium.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but when you're paying a certain premium, you expect certain level of service and quality and stuff. Yeah, but
we learned a hard lesson about what you're saying, like bagging, putting it into the
absolutely. Yeah, we keep.
I've never thought about that with traveling though. I haven't.
Oh yeah. We
I really have. I never. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a airport outfit basically that we wear, something that's comfortable, but something that literally you don't plan on wearing while you're on vacation, and you don't plan on wearing when you're back home. It's just its only purpose is while you're in the airport. That's it. Because those seats, man, think about it. From the time the plane lands, you deboard till the time that someone else boards again, it's a very small window, And like there's detailers out there complaining about, detailing a third row. Imagine you got 150 rows. You know what I mean? Like it's going to take you some time.
Back to Corona, they clean shit.
Yeah. That's true. And
that's why when Corona started passing, even like my therapy, where I go, like they used to clean the stuff that you put your personal belongings in. Now they just throw them back.
It's all just reverted back.
Years ago when they stopped doing it, I go, man, I wish Corona would come back. They looked at me and I was like,
yeah. I'm just saying. There were some pluses, So I might become one of those people again, though, that wears the mask when I travel.
That's why I got to that question.
Yeah.
I want to.
Yeah.
And at the same time, so on the long Brazil flight, that I did. But interstate of just like going to Florida or something, I didn't. And I really wanted to. I still might do it. Like
I'm definitely gonna do it. To be honest, after this last time, I'm still feeling effects of it. So like my nose is still a little plugged. My wife's coughing still. Me, I cough here and there. It's not as bad as it was, but I tell you, there were like this past week. Well, no, we're a new week now. Last week, trying to get work done, man, my head was spinning. And there's nothing worse than I took a whole week off. I had my team for every business handle everything. So then when I came back, it's like go time. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I'm catching up on everything. I'm trying to get back to messages and this and that. and my head's just doing circles, and then my stomach, and then my throat started. It passed everything except for I didn't have a runny nose. That was usually if I get a cold or something, runny nose is my least favorite part because then you're using the Kleenex, your nose gets all raw. It's brutal. Being sick is brutal in general, but this one wasn't as bad in a lot of ways, except for the head spinning, made it hard to focus on stuff, and then mostly my throat. That was the coughing, the lungs, they felt full. Yeah, whatever it was, man, it was bad. But yeah, I tell you, it had to have been Toronto Airport. Every time I go through there, I get sick, and they get something like 1 million passengers a day that pass through there. Maybe it's 2 million. It's so
Canada.
many people, and they're touching everything, scratching their ass, scratching their nuts. I don't know what they're doing, but it's disgusting. The part that pissed me off most though about that, I bought this bottle, and it was a bottle of rum, and it was called Iguana Gold, and they make it in Bahamas. I can't get it here. I bought it, and I waited till I was in the duty free, so I could buy it in the duty free. And I'm with my kid, and she's asking me, can she get some chocolates and whatever. I'm like, yeah, fine, we'll get that in a second. And I'm just kind of rushed. Oh, thanks, grab my bag, boom. I leave. I get to Toronto Airport. The bag's fully sealed, everything. I pass through customs. They pull it to the side, and they say, "Where's your receipt?" I'm like, fuck, I don't know, man. Fuck, maybe my bag. I don't know. Like, I'm traveling with my kids. Like, there's a lot going on here, I go check through my bags. I'm looking for it. As I'm looking for it, she's already cut open the bag now. But if you open the bag, they can say, oh, well, the bag was already open, so we have the right to discard it. So I'm looking for the receipt, everything, and she's giving me a hard time about it. And she's like, well, how do I know you didn't buy this a week ago? I'm like, listen, lady, you think I'm just sitting on a bottle of rum? I was in the Caribbean. Like, it would have been gone by
And
now.
what are we talking here? You want me to pay you $20 a tax?
Yeah, like what do you want? Exactly. Yeah, so she's like, no, we have to discard it. Da, 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 da. I'm like, oh my fucking God, this is crazy. So she said, unless you can produce a receipt, it has to go. So I'm like, you know what? I'm losing. I'm stressed out at this point. We've been traveling for like 14 hours. My wife's just like, you know what? Fuck it. And so my wife starts going off, and she's like, hey, yeah, she's probably gonna drink it with her brothers. Who gives a shit? And she's like going off, And I was like, I love my wife. She's always coming back.
I was gonna say, I think
yeah.
we will enjoy traveling together.
Yeah,
sometime.
100%. Yeah.
I say that stuff. I call it a tax. Like, if you give me shit, I'm gonna tax you back with a smart ass.
100%. It's that headache.
But I'm gonna do it with a smile.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be a professional moment.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you and I are both gonna know I'm taxing you with some bullshit, motherfucker.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yes. So yeah. It was brutal. So I lost a bottle of rum, which sucks. But to celebrate, I got back, and when I went out, I was feeling like shit, and I was like, I wanted some rum because I was gonna make myself a hot toddy and help get myself feeling better. Basically a tea for adults. Anyway, I'm in the store and I'm looking, and then I was like, fuck, I feel like getting something nice. And so I went to the nicer case, and I asked the guy, hey, can you open this up? I want to look around in here, and da-da-da. So he's like, okay. He opens it up. It's like, what's that bottle there you got on its side? It's like, that there? He says, that's one of the last ones they have in the country. Like, interesting.
It's from Bahamas.
I wish.
Oh, I thought it was the same bottle.
Not that happy an ending. No,
that's what I thought.
Yeah. I wish. I did ask them though. They don't have it. They don't carry it. So I was like, fuck. So I have to like order it in or something, or fly back. I don't know. But anyway, they had a bottle, 1942. You can't hear me? It's gone. Okay, cool. They had a bottle, 1942 Don Julio. Beautiful.
That's good.
Bottle. Oh yeah, it's gorgeous. So bought that, smooth as all hell, and he was like, this one is the original recipe that they based all the other Don Julios on. So I was like, oh shit, tell me more, So he starts telling me the history of it, everything. This guy, I'm not gonna lie, he knew his products for a guy that was so young. If I had to guess, 22, 23. I asked him questions about other bottles in that case, and like he wasn't even working in that section. This guy knew everything about all those bottles. You know what I mean? And I fact checked them later because I was like, maybe he's making it up. He said, yeah, this one is actually made with the tears of donkeys. Who fucking knows? He tells me all kinds of stuff. But no, I'm telling you, it was, anyway, absolutely made up for it. So I lost my bottle in the airport. But in exchange, I got the last bottle that was left in our entire province. And in the country, there was only like 3 left. So hey, cheers to that. That was a win,
All right. I grabbed this the other day, brewed in the state of Texas.
All right.
Hasn't been great for Texas football, but Tup's beer. Good.
Oh, okay.
Pretty good. And it was because of this. Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. Nice.
Yeah, juicy
Muerto.
paleo.
Yeah, I
I'd
like it.
like to go to a Day of the Dead. I think that would be
That would be
interesting.
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That would be amazing. Yeah, yeah. And for me, it would be seeing all the different masks as well.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, because it's kind of like when you go to carnival and you see all the different, costumes and stuff. It's we have
Haven't been. Tell me about it.
carnival's nice actually. Yeah. So really? Oh, you need to go. But well,
You
actually,
actually have been to the real one in
oh, not
Brazil?
in Rio. No, no, no. We have a carnival
Oh,
here every year.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, really? No, I haven't
Oh
been.
no,
Tell
that
me
would be
about it. Like,
amazing.
you can
Yeah, yeah,
watch
no,
some
that's
YouTube videos. It's insane.
yeah,
Like,
that's on our bucket list though. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's where yeah, we have to go, have to
yeah.
go. But so I've been to smaller carnivals, but because we used to live in an island, so every
New Orleans.
no, never been in the States actually. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, but we
Yeah.
used to live in an island and that's where they had a carnival every August.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
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 same.
which it was same, yeah, but it was really shitty for business actually because you'd basically be closed but open because all of our clients were in the US, so we were open technically, but none of the employees wanted to work.
Because
And
they were
even
on
the ones that,
holiday.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So the few that did show up, out of 32 employees, we had three that showed up. They didn't really want to work because their mind was elsewhere, especially when they walk in the door and they realize nobody else came in. They're like, fuck am I doing here? But now they're in, so it's like you're not leaving. We need you. It's all hands on deck. But yeah, so I've been to those ones and man, it's fun seeing the costumes, but yeah, I would definitely want to go. So maybe that'll be another trip too. Yeah. I've never been, but I've been to
That's good.
Mexico, which is never the right times. Yeah, it'd be interesting. But yeah, they do something in Bahamas. I think it's called Junkanoo or something like that. It's like similar. It's their carnival type thing too. And they showed us some of the costumes that they wear and stuff like that. But man, it was interesting being there after our talks because where we've talked about, like Disneyland and stuff like that with all the traps they have set up. I was constantly just looking around at all the traps that they had set up, and I was like, "Oh man, this is genius!" So,
What'd you see?
oh my God, one of the best traps I saw, best one. It was actually a funnel. You end up in a funnel, is what happens, which is awesome. So you come there, you're on the resort. They built the resort so big that there's no reason for you to leave. So you're now trapped in this funnel, right? Which makes sense. And then they created all these micro economies within their resort, right? So they have the usual things, the excursions, swim with the dolphins. We did the sea lions. They have all these different things. But then they said, you know what? Let's make a lazy river that goes right through the place. Okay, that sounds great, cool. But if everyone's going to go on the lazy river together, what do you do with all your stuff? You could chance it and you could leave it there with thousands of other people that are getting on a cruise ship in 2 hours, or you could rent a locker. Okay. So they have small lockers. Okay. Enough for a pair of shoes for $25. Okay, so we obviously need the medium-sized one. Okay, it's only $38. Okay. I could fit my stuff and my wife's stuff, but what about the kids? Oh, that's okay. They have the large one. The large one's only $100 a day. Okay. Or what's this? They have private cabanas where someone's going to watch over your stuff. You get a private cabana, guaranteed seating, get some bottles of water, some ice. They'll on demand bring you food, so on and so forth. You pay for it, but still. So, oh, well, that's only 500. So if we're already spending 100, why not just get the private cabana? Oh, and look, we could have our own private entrance right to the lazy river from our cabana.
If you buy the extra.
If you buy, so everything was boom, 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 boom. So they work you up that way. So that was method one. That was the first trap. I was like, interesting, well played.
And well played, right? Like,
Oh, so good. So good. The second trap they have, which I think is great, when people go to resorts, there's two types of people. There's people that want to go to a resort, stay on a resort. There's people that want to go to a resort for all the benefits of, I have my dedicated hotel room, I have this and that, but I'd like a little taste of the culture. I want to go off resort. Well, within the resort, they built a section that's off the resort. It looks completely different,
that's where I'll
but
be.
it's
I
still
was going to
part
say,
of the
I'm probably
resort.
one of those guys. Like,
Yes, absolutely.
I
So
love to go just walk over and just start walking around,
exactly.
find some shit off the street and start eating it.
Exactly. And that's what we did. Bimini Road, we went there. That's where we're looking at those boats I was telling you about. Well, I say boats, that's very conservative.
Yeah.
These mega yachts.
Mhm.
So we're looking at the mega yachts. One of them, as I told you, was the guy that they'd made the beef jerky links. So they made the beef jerky brand links.
The one that does that commercial with like the Sasquatch guy that like,
I think so. I actually don't know.
we'll
I don't
go
know.
with that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
say
we'll go with
yes.
that. We'll go with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. I've seen them in the store, but I'm trying to remember what was on it.
Jack Links,
It might Jack Links. That's it. Jack Links. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sasquatch guy.
Okay, same, exactly. And so massive, massive boat. And I'm trying to remember what the back of the boat said. It was like unlinked or something. I don't
That's,
remember.
yeah,
Yeah, it was
probably.
something. They
Yeah.
had twin links or something. Twin links, I think it was. It was something. It was something like that. But yeah, yeah. And it illuminated those. I've seen a lot of boats. A lot of them is just the name and it's kind of like vinyl decals or something, you know what I mean? This one was like a metal sign protruding from the back and it lit up at night because we got there when
Why not?
sun hadn't set. Yeah, exactly. Why not? You know what I mean? Man, we stayed there watching. We just kept ordering more food and more drinks while we're sitting there because we were like 14 feet from this yacht and we're watching the staff set up. And it was really interesting to see because they first off they brought out flowers and they put it on the table and they put a couple in the corners and stuff. And then the whole time they're doing this, we can see the lower deck and they're just watching Fox. Like we can see they're watching Fox News.
Oh,
We can
Fox
see,
News.
yeah, yeah, we can see them just watching TV, and the staff is on the upper level setting this whole dinner up. They brought out a chandelier, they set up the chandelier, candles, you name it. And anyway, they set up this whole thing. But we're watching them, and they start detailing the sides of the boat. I'm not even kidding. Like they brought out they've got chemicals spraying and they're going down, you know, the chrome pipes and everything. They're doing this. They're just parts of the boat that no one's even gonna see at night, right? And all I kept thinking is like they're obviously following some sort of checklist, obviously, right? And there's probably some day that maybe the owner went, leaned up against the edge one day because he can't see anything, and then looked at his hand, saw some dust or something, and was like, add that to the list. He's like, from now on, because man, meticulous. But you see it, and so it had me thinking though, where people are like, oh, my business is struggling, this and that. Someone got started in that and said, you know what? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna work my ass off doing whatever I gotta do, and I'm gonna work my way up, and I'm gonna detail mega yachts. And they were like, that person came from something, and just now that's what they do. You know what I mean? So
You could move to a random island and then start, moving
yeah,
boats across the water.
like that guy I told you about, Andrew. Yeah, he was nuts. He was in Chicago, I think he was, but he was in Illinois. Moves down to the island we were at, just not out of the blue. He came for a week, stayed a week, loved it, went back home, looks around, sees everyone's miserable, everything, and he's like, fuck, what am I doing here? Bought a one-way ticket, moved all his shit. He started working at the marina that was out front of our house. We used to live by Port Louis, which, by the way, is I think it's either six or seven of the most beautiful ports in the world. So that used to be out front of our house when we lived there. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, the boats that came in there were nuts. But anyway, he started working there, and then he worked his way up, met a bunch of people because obviously it's perfect opportunity for networking. You're talking with people that have substantial power or influence and things. And he was talking to this one guy and he was like, yeah, I want to learn how to sail. I was like, I'll teach you how to sail. Teaches him how to sail. And he's like, oh, actually, I have to take one of my boats from Italy, bring it down here. Maybe you could do that for me. So they go to Italy. He pilots it across, captains it or whatever it's called, across the Atlantic. He's never done this before. Zero training in some sort of like a school or facility, like just all hands on from the guy that owns the boat. Like that was just it. Goes across the Atlantic. Just madness, in my opinion. And then next thing you know, he starts moving a couple boats here and there, and that becomes his full-time gig. Now he's back and forth, but he's primarily in Italy. That's what he does. People that have mega yachts and they're like, yeah, I'm flying into such and such island. I want my boat there. I'll be there in 2 months. He's like, all right, say less. We'll bring it down there. That's what he does. No training, no nothing. I mean, in our industry, sometimes you have to go to these fancy schools that people put on to learn how to, lay tint and stuff like that. But, here it is, this guy navigating across the Atlantic in a boat that he never learned how to sail before. It's doable. I guess there's a lesson there if you're willing to put in the hard work and pay attention and learn and, do some hands-on stuff and take risks.
Well, and I think there's a lesson for all of us of
Mm,
we think that going out and cleaning a car in our business is stressful and tough, and it's a big risk.
yeah. Yeah. This is
And when you hear stories like that, and you hear stories like the random family member I have that was trying to ride a
probably
bike all the way from Brazil
bicycle.
into
Yeah.
America. Like,
It's true. Yeah. And then people are like, "Oh,
like
where should I
there's,
start with, like this and that?"
yeah.
It's like,
Oh,
"Fuck, man, like these aren't like massively risky or dangerous or you just start like even my own shop. I knew I would get to the point where I would have employees and we'd be running a good shop and stuff, but everyone that saw me taking this journey said, "Man, you don't know anything about cleaning cars. What are you doing?" I was like, "Of course I don't. And yesterday I didn't know this, and the day before that I didn't know that. At one time I didn't know how to tie my shoes. Now I know how to tie my shoes." You know what I mean? It's just you learn these things and you just try and you take those risks. What we're doing in our industry isn't really risky in comparison to a lot of the journeys people take. It just requires the effort, but that's where I don't think a lot of people have that. I don't know if it's the drive or the effort or willingness to go above and beyond. Like those, like the crazy guy on the bicycle is I'm gonna bike from Brazil all the way up to the United States. Like that's a journey, man. That's some gusto, moving from Illinois on a whim and being like, you know what, fuck, I'm gonna go live in the Caribbean, and then next thing you know, I'm gonna wash boats, and then I'm gonna sail them across the Atlantic.
it's it's also
Yeah,
gusto to host a car show at your shop and tell people about, you know, cars. That's pretty
yeah,
difficult too.
yeah. That's
That's really difficult. Get people
really
in
tough.
your local town
Yeah,
that like cars and hang out with them.
get them
That's
to come
difficult
out and
too, man. That's
talk
really tough.
talk to them, and yeah,
Fuck, man. I don't know.
yeah. I know. We just had a community barbecue at ours, and we invited a bunch of people because there used to be a church beside us.
Man, are you okay?
Uh,
How'd it go? Everything all
I don't
right?
know,
I mean,
man.
I don't know. Like, that's pretty risky for you,
Hit
wasn't
or
it?
miss, man. I'm waiting for the X-rays to come back. Yeah, it's pretty risky. Yeah, yeah. And
Mm.
and you know
Thoughts are
what?
with you, okay?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Condolences. Yeah. And so, but it's one of those things. You're absolutely right. Like, listen, not everything that I do works at our shop. As much as I tell people about the great tips on the episodes here and stuff, those are things that some of them are things we're trying and we'll see how it pans out. And other things are things we've done before, so on and so forth. But there's a lot of stuff we
Listen,
try.
highlight reels don't show the bad stuff.
Exactly. No, yes, it's exactly it though. And so it's all those things but we just constantly do stuff, and we're not worried whether or not it's gonna flop or not. We go into everything with the expectation that this is gonna do well, but we also don't put all our eggs in one basket, right? Like we make sure that try this, try this, try this, try this, but we always have plans. We always have things that we're trying.
So you have things that you're trying, but at the same time, you've got the core of what you're doing. I didn't want people to hear that
Yeah.
and go, I got to try all these random
No, no,
ideas
no, no,
that
no.
don't pan out to
Yeah.
anything because one of the biggest fads right now that we're seeing, and it's not just in our industry,
Yeah.
it's also in the PPF, it's also in
Mm.
tint, also in these is, hey, let me just get some stuff, throw it in a bottle, and let me put my
Uh,
label on it
yeah, yeah. And
because there's millions of dollars to be made off
yeah.
selling people my product.
Yeah.
And if you put a great label on it, hey, people will buy it and I can make millions of dollars.
Yeah.
If anybody's in the PPF world, just go start talking to the state of California because the words we hear is PPF in the state of California is a disaster.
Mm.
It's paint.
Damn.
While at the same time,
Yeah, yeah.
so many people over in Asia are celebrating the joyous abundance that's happening in California.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like,
What?
interesting correlation.
Private label, buy cheap shit out of China and put my name on it. It doesn't matter about the customer's car, what's going to happen. I only care now about this opportunity, quote unquote, that I can put my shop's label on something.
Yeah,
There's the fad.
yeah.
It's this idea that because we've grown a shop or grown a business that we can then go put anything with our label on it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
man. Hey, enjoy those times. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to
100%.
tell you you shouldn't do that. You should go with a reputable brand and you should go talk to some people in the United States that have a good, solid quality.
Yeah.
You
It
shouldn't go source stuff from other countries where you have no idea what is going on over there.
yeah,
Hadn't gone over there. You did not see that film being printed for you.
it's true. And a big thing too, I think a lot of people don't understand because like not in this business now, but my previous business, I worked with this guy. He was our former CFO, and he actually went to Asia, set up how do you call it in English? Factories, fabricas. I was saying Spanish. He set up factories to make the cartridges for inkjets, not the actual ink that goes in, but just the cartridge
I
itself.
think you've talked about that, yeah?
Yeah. So yeah, he was great, Mark Galligan. So he made a bunch of those. Well, he made millions of them. He sold them to HP, Brother, you name it. All the major brands. They all bought
Fucking
from.
genius.
Absolutely.
What grade did he get in high school and then in college? And then he
Uh,
probably has a master's and he probably like he's a pretty smart guy, right?
Very smart guy, but he actually left in grade 9.
Okay, you fucked me.
Yeah, but I will say this though. He did go back later and he did get his full diploma, but yeah, I think after that, I don't know if he did any post-secondary stuff. But he was a sharp guy though. Really sharp.
Sharp guy, smart
Here's
person.
why though. Yeah. He had a good mentor as well. So his mentor was already over there. They were old friends, and his mentor kind of like schooled him on stuff. His mentor actually ran a business, not so great, but well, he ran a really good business, but not so great in terms of ethics. He was the one that would get plans from, let's say, like General Electric for a new fridge, and then he was to source the right factory to make that fridge, and he would
So
sell the plans.
you either need to be smart or have smart friends.
Yes, I would say that 100%.
There's the morals.
100%. Yeah. So there we go. Yeah. So he absolutely had the right connections with people and people that had credentials, people that understood things, people that were in business for a long time, successful, so on and so forth, that could guide him, give him the ropes. So it's not like he just like stumbled upon it. He was kind of thrust into it. But I asked him one time, how come you don't deal with the ink? If you're already dealing with the cartridge, why not the ink? And he said, because this summer it's good, next summer it's bad, next summer it's worse. And I said, what are we talking about? And he says, a lot of these companies, they set up because there's no real rules and regulations for a lot of things, not like there are over here, for example, in North America. He said they can set up a company, put out a product, get a lot of people to buy, whatever they're doing, dilute it, cut it in half, cut the quality, cut corners, start putting out other stuff. And then when that company's reputation starts to go to shit, they open another company that has something better than that one, but it's the same company. They compete against themselves. They sell something that was good that summer, bad the next summer, and worse the next summer. And he said it's a cycle. They repeat and they repeat and they repeat. And he said the plastics for the cartridges, he says you can't mess it up. He says the ink quality can change, but the cartridge itself, it's just the mold. It's just the cartridge. So we
So
leave them to figure out so how this relates to the tint stuff is we had an
I thought you
opportunity.
were gonna say it relates to detail with like
Oh,
microfiber towels.
yeah. Well, it does relate.
Years ago, microfiber towels were
Yeah,
fucking amazing.
yeah. And now, geez, and that's exactly what happens. And then you'll find another source, or your supplier will find another source. It's good this summer, bad next summer, worse the next summer. Cycle repeats, and that's where for me we had the opportunity to buy some film a long time ago, and we were gonna oh, let's put our logo on it and all this stuff. That's what the company was trying to pitch us on. Oh, we have all these films, we'll send you a film book, take a look at it. Oh, we have bulletproof film, we have this, we have that. At the time I was entertaining the idea. I wasn't excited, but I was talking to my business partner Nick, and I said, Nick, like, what do you think? There is an opportunity here for it. And he said, which brand are we trying to build? He says, we shut down the shop and we build this brand, and that's our thing. That's our area of expertise, with the goal of eventually producing our own film. Or we run the shop and we buy from somebody that deals with all that shit. Those are our two options. He says, you don't do both at the same time. And I said, well, why not? He said, you're going to try and build a local brand and compete against guys that have deep, deep, deep pockets and reputations. When something goes wrong with yours, it doesn't take long for that small reputation to become just absolutely horrible. And when it becomes horrible, now it's widespread. And you're actually giving fuel to the competitors for all the other stuff. We're better off to use something that's reputable. They do the R&D. And he said, the company that we're white labeling for, what if they start putting out shit products? What do? We don't own the formula for how things are made. We don't own the process, the factories, nothing. So how do we fix those quality assurance issues? And we can't. That's the solution, because we can't all of a sudden overnight go to one of the big brands and be like, hey, listen, we tried our own thing. It didn't work out. We fell flat on our face. Any chance we can white label your shit? They're like, no, like what? And so for us, we went that direction. We said it's better off to actually piggyback off of the reputation of these bigger brands and say, these are the brands that we use, and we use them because we did our homework. And so when we talk to customers, that's something we discuss with them. We say, we've had the opportunity. We could sell you Auto World film. We could sell you an Auto World coating for sure. But what's really in there isn't from Auto World. So you're going to be paying a premium for a low quality product that doesn't have any reputation, and you don't know where it's coming from. And in fact, I don't even know where it's coming from. Or the conversation with the customer is, we have our brand, and our brand utilizes really good brands, reputable brands, brands with warranties, brands with coverage, brands with a track record, whatever the case may be. That's what we're using on your vehicle. That's why you can trust us, because we've done the research for you, not we've put out this product for you. And then they start asking questions about it, and you're just regurgitating something from the sales booklet. Like it's just not a good
Well, what you
strategy.
hear now, there's some YouTube type companies that have started to evolve and, put out stuff. And then you start hearing things that this person's saying that's very similar to this brand that just started their chemical company. And they're
Yeah, it's like
saying the same thing. And
very
then
similar,
they're
huh?
all saying that they don't have stock and that they use this third party over here that doesn't. And you start
Connect
putting
the
things
dots.
together
Yeah.
and you go,
Hmm.
huh.
Starting to make a lot of sense now, and that's where for me, it's just always been one of those things where you got to figure out what business you're in. You know, business is hard. Running multiple businesses is harder. It can be, um, but running a business where you have very little to no control over the final outcome of things is scary to me as a prospective opportunity, in comparison to, and like, it's true, there's big companies that they end up changing their formula or something's not quite the same.
Well, and even just
But
off what you said about Asia, I mean,
yeah,
that seems to be the thing. Is why we are really going to continue to beat our chest of bring back manufacturing to America,
yeah,
support American manufacturing. Is
100%.
why I just
Yeah,
really got to ask that question.
yeah,
Why, when you think of I want to do something on my own and I want to do a private labeling, why don't I reach out to an American manufacturer? Why do I need to go on TikTok, on uh, uh, uh Alibaba Express?
yeah.
What's the new Temu?
Yeah, yeah,
Right? Why go cheap and go buy overseas
yeah.
if you're an American? Let's just start with that. Like, you're an American businessman that's complaining about the guy down the street that's cheaper, yet you're going
And
to
then
go buy
now you're
stuff
going to the
from
guy.
another country.
Well, it's because he's not across the street. That's why. It is crazy. It's mind-boggling. And I think a lot of people too underestimate the impact that can be made in your business when you let customers know why you chose a product that maybe costs more. We chose this product, it costs a little bit more, but we want to make sure that we're supporting Americans. We want to make sure that we're, using products that are made with an American quality and standard, things like that. I think that's an important aspect to that, right? That a lot of them are missing out on. I've seen that too. The trend for sure. I've seen people, they're launching their thing. They, especially now, because oh, well, what do I do in the off season? Things are slowing down a bit. What do I do? So now it's,
You mentioned off season. I'm going to use that E word that people were saying earlier in 2024. However, years ago, we were prepping, you and I even specifically talking about it. Of what do you do when you get into moments where the economy,
yeah,
there's just less money out there? What do? You've been fishing in a pond and suddenly there's not so many fish.
yeah.
You build giant resorts on an island where there's only so many employees to be had. And you've got multiple resorts on one island that are all needing to harvest employees from a specific area that they can only make babies so often.
It's true.
What do you do?
Yeah, and now you're controlling the outcome of like that's what happened in Bahamas. Atlantis, by far, the biggest resort that's there, the largest. It's like 430 hectares or something. It's insane. And they pay their employees well.
I had a buddy named Hector. So what do they do? Like stretch him out?
Yeah, they stretch him out. Exactly. Yeah.
What's a hectare?
Yeah. I don't actually know the size, but it's bigger than an acre. So there's like acre and then hectare.
Oh,
I'd have to look up what the difference is, but there is a difference, and it's hectares bigger though, and it's huge. I don't know how many acres, but even if it was just acres, 430, that's massive. Like it's absolutely massive, and they have made this kind of getaway resort that other resorts need to tap into. But what they've done is they charge everybody 15% across the board for every purchase as a tip to give to the employees, keeps the employees happy. So you got to think 15% of every
happy.
transaction. Jesus, like that's insane. And it's not like they're giving away 15%. Sorry, they're adding on 15%. So it's the tourists, whether it's people staying on the resort like myself, or people on cruise ships, people staying at nearby hotels that are coming there and buying a day pass, everything tax on 15%. That 15% goes direct to the employees. So you have an incredibly happy workforce. You've built yourself this little island with all these little traps to get customers to go and spend a little more and so on and so forth. It's an amazing system, really. And it's all these micro economies. But I think that is what some of these guys maybe in their minds are trying to do, is create these micro economies where it's like, okay, I've got my main economy, which is I'm selling my detailing services, for example. If I can create some micro economies to boost some income where I'm selling, this private white labeled, product or whatever the case may be, I feel like they think it's a way to boost up their revenues. I would argue though,
I wouldn't argue.
yeah, true. But I would say long term, they would be better off. I guess my argument is that they would be better off long term if they were to just choose their products more wisely and instead of white labeling it, because I don't see the added benefit of the white label, to be honest. Like if you're, I don't know, let's just say your business is like Sud Super Clean Detailing. I don't see the added benefit to the customer if it's a product that you, the inexperienced chemist, produced. Like I don't see how, like what's your background that qualifies you to have made this product that's so great for my vehicle versus we use a product that's backed by a team. This is what they do day in and day out. Is
I
they
didn't think of it that way. That's interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
how I
didn't
would
think of
look
it
at
that
it.
way.
Yeah, like
Yeah. Hmm.
man, for me, if a guy's coming to build my house and he tells me, "Oh yeah, and see all this lumber we're using? It's actually straight from my farm." I'm feel like shit. I hope not. Because is there any chance you can buy it at Home
That's
Depot?
a great illustration, man. I never even thought of it like that.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's man. I'm telling you, I'm sure a lot of people would look at it like that. Like, you name it,
Hey,
man.
you're
Like,
cleaning cars. What do you, huh?
what do you know about? What are your qualifications for?
Well, I
Yeah,
guess I hadn't thought of that. Oh,
yeah. And to me, that's the real no-brainer of using a reputable company and paying a little more for it, because just like the resort is paying their employees well because they're tacking on 15%. That's what you should be doing in your detailing business, is tacking on that extra to pay your employees well. And oh, we're using top tier products, so tack on a little more because ultimately your customer's going to pay it. That's what's going to listen in this economy that people say there's no money. The resort I just went to, is not a cheap resort, and it was full. It was full. And guess what? The cruise ships that came in were also full. And people were coming off, and guess what they were doing? They weren't sitting around reading Moby Dick. They were making it rain. Exactly. They were spending money left, right, and center. People would get off the cruise ship and buy a locker. Oh, I'm here for a couple hours, $100 for a locker, done deal. And you're
So,
worried about 15 extra dollars for a product. It's crazy.
so if I'm a detailer, I'm not thinking I shouldn't do things. Don't hear this and go, don't think outside of your current box. We're not saying don't think of ways that you can, in a sense, set your own traps. We're saying that set your traps a little more smart.
Yeah,
Work with
absolutely.
people in America that are smarter. You know, work with people and
That have products
let them
available at
help
all times.
you. Because
Yeah.
I think one of the best, if we can think of it inside of detailing, I know plenty of our, I've got a guy now specifically I'm thinking of. His name's Billy. He
Mm,
details out of his own house.
beautiful.
He is we call him a level 1 type distributor for us.
Perfect. Yeah.
And inside of every, type of correction coding type of gig, something like that, which is mostly what he does, he likes to include a little care package.
Perfect. Yeah.
Absolutely, it's perfect.
Yeah.
He does it as a distributor,
Beautiful.
not with his own label to where the customer would go, well, where'd you get like,
Yeah, like, where'd you get that? What do you know
these
about
are the
this?
people that like, right?
Yeah.
So it is in a sense, the nice easy path, the lazy river down
Yeah.
through the sale, right? Because
100%.
here's the extra. Here's something we recommend you carry a car, and this is from a high quality
Yeah.
brand. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a
Absolutely.
great. At some point you feel odd saying it on one side. It is the trap.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
we could be a predator for a moment and
Hmm.
stop being the prey that walks into
Yeah.
them, we can go, okay, it's probably good for me to set up things like this. When people buy certain packages, it will encourage them to buy that package instead of the little
Exactly.
medium-sized locker. Let me
Yeah.
get them up to the cabana.
Yeah. Where you get 2 free bottles of water, get your own private waiter, access to the lazy river. That's what people want, you know? And for me, I was like, okay, so it costs a little bit extra. All right. But I know
And
I'm getting.
you're the customer that we all want.
Mhm.
Let's also say that,
There's thousands, millions of me's out there
just
though.
like you.
Yeah, 100%.
We're
And
concerned about the guy down the street at $25.
yeah,
Wrong thought process.
100%.
Start thinking about, how do I set more traps for you?
Because you can run your business probably a lot better too if you had 100 of me versus 1,000 of those $30 wash guys. So like, what are you trying to attract? And if you want the $30 wash guy, or he comes in, sure, have a white label product as well or something. But I wouldn't put your brand on it because you're going to let people know we have this. It's inferior. We have this. It might be more in your budget. I don't know. But honestly, I would recommend this. So if it means you put this off and you wait till your next detail, let's get you booked in next week. We'll get you back next Friday. We'll do a mini detail, and by then you'll have enough pick up this thing as well. Whatever the case may be, push them towards the higher end stuff because it's going to be better for your business long term. If customers are using something that it's like, it worked okay, but maybe I could just buy that myself on Amazon. Well, you made one sale. Congratulations. But are you not in this for the long haul? You're not in this to have that customer purchase again and tell their friends, like, holy shit, that wow factor. I use that guy's product. Well, it's not his. He recommended me to it. It's amazing. I got the detail done at his shop, and then he gave me a little bottle of XYZ, whatever it is, and it's amazing. That's going to do more wonders for your business
Mhm.
than, oh, well, yeah, I don't know. I think maybe he makes it in his garage. I don't know. There's no added value there, really.
And
For
you'd
you.
hate to actually put something in that little cart where they go, well, I wonder if I can get this on Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. Because then what are they going to do?
Why
You
the
know?
hell they need you?
Exactly, exactly. And that's where, see, a benefit of something like HyperClean, for example, becoming a distributor is that they can look up the company, they can see the details like, oh yeah, they're based in the United States,
Not on Amazon.
related there, and not on Amazon. Exactly. And so that exclusivity is part of why they would be coming to you as a detailer as well, instead of just going to a car wash or something like that, right? They want that extra level of service,
Mhm.
and I think that's an important thing. So, which is a good segue into a gift that we're doing this year, a little care package. So we have winter coming, so off season, things slowing down in one sense, not as many, details. We're switching more to our PPF and our tint and so on and so forth. Still details, of course, but it's less than it is in April, for example. So, what do we do to communicate with a lot of our customers over the holidays? Well, we're putting together some care packages and we're reaching out to customers, and it's a winter survival kit. And so, some of it's car related and some of it's little shovel related. So, you get stuck in the snow, you can shovel yourself out. Little
You
things.
put some s'mores in there?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great idea, actually. We'll put a s'more kit. I like that. That is good, actually. We were putting some Tim Hortons hot chocolate packets in it and stuff.
Yeah,
Just
that's
little things like that, and
mhm.
things to get them through the
But a
holiday.
s'more kit, yeah, like that's the
Yeah, yeah,
extra
yeah.
level.
Yeah, that is true.
Maybe
Uh,
it's a bit much level. I don't
yeah,
know.
it's a bit much like
Maybe it's a bit much.
True, true, true. But a cool thing we're doing, because with OrbisX, so we obviously have the ability to purchase gift cards online. And so what we're doing is we're including a makeshift gift card, and it's just going to have a random value, and then it's going to see purchase for a loved one, and then they just scan a little QR code, and it takes them online, and then they complete their purchase. So that's going to be in the little care package sent out to them, right? And
All right.
real
Let me
quick, real
pause
quick,
you.
this is important though.
Okay.
The bottom of it, it says suggested amounts based on past customer purchases. 350, 450, 500. And so that's what we're putting, because we do start selling them at $50. But putting that little line, we did something similar last year and our average was 450.
Yeah,
And
well done.
just by
Well done.
telling them like
Yeah.
suggested amounts, so yeah, yeah, yeah. See,
Mhm.
that takes it over the
Um,
finish line. So thank
well done.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, well done. Like, so the anything I was gonna say is I was actually talking to a guy last week. Encouraged him to start listening to these episodes, encouraged
Nice.
him to start
Good.
checking out OrbisX. Um, and a lot of what we were talking about was that moment. He actually is also looking at distribution. I said,
Good.
man, you're thinking of distribution. We're in October, the number one day. I said, so if you ever want to think about selling a product to another human being,
Mm.
there's one day that has evolved to the number one day. There's no day other than that day that's anywhere close to
Yeah.
that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, you're a month away.
Mm.
You either need to go jump full hog, let's go distribution and go all in. That is going to be a big time to sell your services, your product, put it all together. And that's a big day for you. I said, or the other option would be, let me go full hog in marketing around a gift card,
Mm.
because the number one thing that people buy online retail for detail, I believe, is gift cards to go get a service done at some point in time. And I go, hey man, go listen to the episode OrbisX. I said, you really need to go then sign up. You need to go talk to all the team. You need to go get the gift cards in your
Yeah.
Orbit. You
Set
need
up.
to go get it
Yeah.
now. You can't wait until the day before, the week
Yeah.
before.
No. This. Well.
Thousands and thousands of dollars. Then some people, I'll say tens of thousands.
Mhm.
Others that are listening, hundreds of thousands. It's all about the amount of customers and the customers that you have, of
Yeah.
what they will spend on that day.
Yeah.
If you
It's
don't have gift cards available for their loved ones,
then yikes.
you
And
med out, man. You
what's
missed.
cool about
Yeah.
OrbisX? Because shout out to Clinton. His cards are on the way here. He's got a bunch of them printed. So it's upside down. These here are gift cards. They're plastic, printed by OrbisX, and they work with OrbisX. But wait, I thought OrbisX was an online software. Ooh, true. But we do have NFC capabilities. So you print these bad boys, you can tap them because we named the app Tap That. You can tap it. You can tap it and they're reloadable. So as a customer comes and uses them up, you can tap it again and say, well, you just redeemed your gift card. How would you like to add another 150, 250 on there and pass that gift card along? Oh, it sounds like a good idea. Sure. Because they came in, they redeemed a gift card. Perfect opportunity to resell it. So this one purchase, either A, no one ever uses it, and so he just got free money for the cost of the card, or B, which
What's that
happens a lot.
percentage? It's
Oh,
an
it's
insane
it's
percent.
high. Yeah, I think it's high 40s at least. It might even be
Oh
60.
yeah, it's massive.
Yeah,
It's
it's
insane percent.
yeah.
I fall into that percent.
Yeah. Most people, yeah, I got one for my birthday, which is in July, and I threw it in a drawer.
Mine are in my
Found it the
closet,
other day.
and about once a month I get the. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
what do I do? I don't know, whatever.
yeah. Exactly. It's great. It's 60, I think, percent,
Yeah.
something like that. But it's high up there. But best case scenario, someone does come in, they use it, and then now you have A customer, and
Mhm.
B, the opportunity to
Hey,
resell,
you have a chance.
reload. Yeah, that's true. You have a chance to prove your services to them because you already got paid for it. You got a chance to prove yourself for that customer, take
And
good
a
care of
chance
them.
to hook them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and put them in that
Chance to
trap.
sell
Put
them.
them in
Chance to
your
do all
resort.
kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Get them in
Get a
that
chance.
funnel. Get them into the
Hmm.
cabana. It's true. And see, but this is where what separates a lot of our thinking from a lot of other business owners, and I'm going to use that term lightly here, is that I learned a lot about dolphins during my trip. And I learned something in particular about how dolphins sleep. Do you have any idea how dolphins sleep? It's insane because they
Very
breathe air.
light.
Very light. That's a very good answer. So, because I was wondering about it
Light
because it's like
sleepers.
they have to not get eaten, but they do have to sleep, but they also have to breathe air at some point. So they have to come up to the surface. So I was like, how the hell do dolphins sleep? So I asked, how do dolphins sleep? The actual term, I had to hold on. I had to look it up. It's okay. Unihemispheric slow wave sleep. There we go. It's USWS. Tells you big long word, and all it means is that unlike us, their eyes are wired to the other side of their brain. So what happens is they close one eye and completely go to sleep on that side of their body, while the other side is completely awake, making sure it doesn't get eaten.
Ah, it's fucking awesome.
It's crazy, right? Amazing. Going up. So they never technically sleep, but every 2 hours they switch sides, right? And you need to become like a dolphin in your business. You need to keep one eye open at all times while you're resting. So while a lot of people are like, oh, this is the time to take it easy. We had a crazy good summer, crazy good spring, but now it's time to, you know, take my foot off the gas a little bit and relax. And I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say it's time to be like a dolphin, where develop that superpower where you can sleep on one side of your body, but the other side is fully awake with your eye on the prize of what you need to do next. And so that's where for us, it's getting geared up for how do we get in more details? How do we reach more, customer engagements with our current customer base to keep them thinking about us? Because if not, if our competitors are, come springtime, that customer may not be our customer. They may be like, maybe it's time to try somewhere new. So no, we're going to fill them with tips, how to do this and that during the winter. Here's an email just about some community event that's happening. Here's this and that. They're going to hear from Auto World the whole way through. We're going to be there with them side by side. And sure enough, if they happen to purchase a new car and they need tint or they do want to get their interiors detailed, we have a really nice email that goes out, and it's about how long have your windows been closed. And then it talks about, it's wintertime. We know you're riding around with your windows closed. You're breathing in this kind of air. And usually what happens is we wait for an event. In this case, perfect timing happened. I got sick in the airport. So we send out something about, one of our founders, Shawn, just got back and he got deadly sick. He went through the airport, and it's those places where they have, closed systems, but they have, air filtration, but it's not that great. Well, your car is very similar to that. you know, and so there's germs just lurking in the back and so on. So, you know, we just discuss things like that, but we put a little story behind it. It's things you can do, but keep in contact all through winter. So in OrbisX, what we do is we change a lot of our messaging every season, and every year we change it. You should, as a good rule of thumb, they don't get the same messages, but we also change it and just go to ChatGPT or use AI that's built into OrbisX. You just click on the AI text helper, say, hey, rewrite this, but with something for this season. Boom, it'll rewrite it, copy, paste it in there, takes seconds, send out messaging that's for that time period that you're dealing with the customer, but make sure you're engaging with them. Just because you're not taking as many details or something like that, stay on top of their mind and be like Clinton. Good job, buddy. Get some NFC gift cards printed out, because gift cards are definitely a must sell. Absolutely. And as you said, Marshall, they lead to that hook being put in. And that's what you want, you know. I shouldn't talk about hooks so much when I'm talking about these cute little dolphins, but but that's what you want to do. You want to hook them. Gets the one with both his eyes closed. But maybe that's why they say sleep with one eye open, you know?
Man, I never knew, and I've just been thinking in my head, and I go, you know what? Next episode, I'm gonna segue.
Yeah.
I'm gonna segue your
Hey.
dolphin
All right.
thought, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
segue that for us in detailers and way I think of that in business and stuff, because
Nice.
I'll save that for next episode, and I'll go ahead and let everybody
Yeah.
know it's gonna be tied in with the crazy uncle,
Yeah. I love
the crazy guy
it.
from Brazil that and I sent Shawn a video.
Yeah, it
People
was
want to see it,
intense.
they can message
Yeah.
Shawn. People are risking everything to
Yeah.
live in the United States. Everything that they could possibly think of.
Literally walking away from your home, your couch, your bed, your fridge, everything. Yeah,
And,
but
and
the
you,
desert near a campfire trying to stay warm. That's crazy.
and you
Yeah.
think it's tough to go talk to somebody about your detailing business, or you think maybe it's too tough to go sign up for this, or it's too tough. Like, cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna
Guys,
have a nice
say
discussion
less.
about
Yeah.
dolphins sleeping with one eye open,
Nice.
and where we're at and where you are in business. Absolutely. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
I love it, man. Me too. Well, appreciate you, man. Glad to be back in the saddle, and feels good to be back home. You know what I mean? Speaking of getting to a destination. See, yeah, anyway, we'll see you next week. Appreciate you as always, guys. Check out Pints and Polishing Podcast as well. And before that big day that we were talking about, reach out to Marshall's team about becoming a distributor. It could really ramp things up by working with someone that's here, someone that has a top tier product, someone that has the support to back your business in the proper way, with a reputation that doesn't reflect the image that you made it in your garage. So there we go. It's really that simple. Yeah, I'm glad to have shared that insight, because
Yeah.
that's how I look at it when I see those things. Yeah, it's like, yeah. But anyway, I'm looking forward to next week, man. I'm excited too. I wanna hear about that too. All right, guys, we'll talk to you next time. All right, cheers. See you.